What's up, everybody? I hope this finds you well. Today I'm watching Kurosawa's 1961 film, Yojimbo. Thank you to James over there on the Patreon for selecting this film for me to watch and finally lighting a fire under my tuchus to experience more of Akira Kurosawa's work. And I can't wait to drink this picture in with you. So without further ado, let's start the opening credits. Let's do it. Okay, I'm rocking with this opening soundtrack here. It's rhythmic. Tell me why I was half expecting that one shot in Stanley Kubrick's 2001: A Space Odyssey. Cut two?
出入りは天下分け目だ。男を売るのは今だ。七一のどこへだ。人は黙って畑って水がゆすって長生きしたって始まんねえ。うめえもん食ってよ。いい着物着てよ。暮らすんだほら。
He's trying to climb the financial ladder. Get rich or die trying, 50 Cent. Think it's safe to say that you have piqued their interest. Whoa. All right. Gotta hand it to you. I didn't see that coming. In a battle, that piece of your body might come in handy, if you will. That dog was very handsome. All right, I quit. This is not going to be a pun heavy video. Trust me.
用心棒で稼ぎきやったら口を聞いてもいいぜ。売り込むなら今が天井様だ。この目の性病は女郎屋だから女に不自由はしねえが、今ちょっと落ち目だ。これが神殿の人らに貼るね。曲がり角の宿屋がバンタの半助からって言うんだぜ。こいつの手前そうもいかねえ。いいな、忘れちゃ困るぜ。
A call to action, a call to adventure. I appreciate it. Which side of the divide are you going to commit to here, protagonist? Let's do it. He gave him a very formidable once over, sizing you up. Undaunted.
の往来だ。通り抜けなら犬でも飼ってなぜ。まずいね、お侍。あんなこっちゃ売り込めねえ。懐を見せなきゃダメさ。いいかい。あの連中はあの面だけが信条だ。どっちか一人、伝の一本をぶったりってみせなおとなしくなる。
Ah, that's all it takes? Constable? This constable is in the business of selling wolf tickets. That constable seems to be the Japanese equivalent of Peter Lorre.
酒かね。うん。飯だ。実はの親父。分かってるよ。これがねえんだろう。しかしこの町で少し暴れて借りは返す。やめてくれ。切った張ったもうたくさんだ。
Bust some heads. Appropriate expression.
ただで暮らせるからとっととこの町から出てってくれ。隣の奥屋だ。近頃この町で景気がいいのはこいつばっかりだ。看護師は毎日飛ぶように売れるんです。ああ、一つ宿場に親分一人ってんなら我慢できる。一つ宿場に親分二人とくるってもういけねえよ。受けんな看護師屋だけだ。うぜよっしゃ。
Casket maker. Yeah, this spells disaster with a capital D.
とのこりゃ間の目の生命の後実の子可愛さに縄張りをそっくりそいつに譲ろうとした。こいつがいけねえや。一の子分が生じするわけやねえ。またこの一の子分の神殿の牛
Right hand man, you say? Was it right hand we saw earlier?
神殿村から乗り込んでいった。生命か真っ二つよ。決着つけるもな。どうすしかねえよ。そこで生命も人らも目の色を変えて虫雲の表情餅をかき集める。血の位置の代わりに人殺しの位置が立ってるんだよ。
A marketplace for mercenaries. A tragic state of affairs, to be sure.
おぎや、景気はどうだい。ゆうべ俺のいねえ間に棺桶はいくつ売れた。お宅に2つ、あちらには4つ。
The callousness is through the roof with these.
そんなの悪くねえな。
少し足んねえが暴れ出したら手がつけるね。あれがこの宿場のバンタだぜ。博打打ち息子を引っ捕らえるのが役目のくせにあのざまだ。いや、あいつばかりじゃねえ。
Riff Raff, tiptoeing in my Jordans. I like how Kurosawa is unpacking political corruption. There's so much cinematic precision taking place here. The marriage between the camera work and the dialogue, it's pleasing and soothing to the eye and brain. Well, for me, you know what I mean?
宿場はもうおしまいだ。このどっけに当てられてろくなことにはなんねえ。早いとこ飯って逃げ出すだね。
飯はやめだ。酒をくれ。この町は気に入った。牛を据えるぞ。
何を
Okay. Now that you gave me exposition, the lay of the land, I like the cut of this area's jib. Sake to me, sake to me.
今この町では人を切れば金になる。でもこの町が叩き切った方がいいようなしかいねえ。打ち込むのがみんなくたばったらこの宿場もすっきりするで。
なんだよ。命がいくつあったってそんなことはできっこねえ。
俺一人でみんな叩き切るつもりはねえよ。だけど酒を飲みながらよく。
Yeah, let me mull this one over. Get my stratagems in order. You said not if you had 9 lives. Yeah, this is a tall task, to be sure. Relatively selfless act. Like, hey, they need to skedaddle and let these people live in peace. That's commendable for our protagonist.
この宿場のやつはみんなキスキーだ。お前はもっとキスキーだ。
Yeah, life is like, you know what my mama told me, crazy is as crazy does.
And that's all I have to say about that.
英米に話がある。
なんだてめえは。
俺を買わんか。用心棒にどうだ。腕は今見せる。
He's embodying so much bravado and strength. And it's not a coincidence that they're filmed, the townspeople are filmed through bars. They're trapped in the web of these leaders' making. And will he be the one to extricate them from said web? The jury's still out.
なんでさっきは三品じゃねえか。
Two bit. We need to bring that expression back into the fold. Third rate, two bit.
まったく可愛らしい面してんなってめえたちは。牛も殺せねえような面して過ごんでるところはなんとも可愛いってんだ。
He's saying, yeah, y'all are adorable, but y'all wouldn't bust a grape in a fruit fight. You hear me?
こう見えても俺様はな、捕まりは貼り付け間違いなしの落とすでもんだぜ。
俺だってよ。いずれさらし首だ。やってねえことは一つもねえんだ。じゃあ叩き切られても文句はねえな。
なんだと言うのなら切ってみれ。
And he didn't stutter. Stanley from The Office.
Did I stutter?
まったくバカにつける癖がねえな。
All right. He's a man of action. He's nothing if not a force with which to be reckoned. Let's go.
オケや。棺桶2つ。いや、多分3つだ。
This has such an excellent tone, Kurosawa. Fool, unfortunately, being a fool is incurable. You know, it's it's fatal, terminal, a terminal illness.
この手入れが片付くまでいくらだ。
へい、3両というとこで。
牛虎に当たってみる。あいつならもう少し出しそうだ。
It's like, yeah, don't shortchange me. I just gave you a taste for free. That rhymed.
20両。50両。
よし。前金25両。飲み食いそっち持ちだぞ。
You damn Skippy. This cinematography is striking me as being immaculately calculated. Each frame is like a composed painting. There's so much beautiful intentionality with where Kurosawa is choosing to place the camera.
お前さんどこの馬の骨だかわからないやつに前金25両なんてべらぼうで夜逃げでもされたらそれっきりじゃないか。
任しとけって。夜逃げの暇はねえ。今日これから殴り込みをかける。牛虎のやつら、あの三品に3人叩き切られてお酒振ってる際。今あいつを先に、勝負はこっちのもんで。
たところで、あいつを殺しゃ、丸々50両助かるんだがね。汚すぎるぜ、そんな。
Planning, plotting, scheming, saboteur.
人殺し盗人と言われるようにならなきゃ。
お前あの三品をやってごらん。味方だと思っていたんやけど、これ。
Yo, this is amazing. This is phenomenal movie making.
俺だって牛虎のとこのやつじゃねえこの子は兄をビクビクしてんのさ。
Come on.
一人切ろうが100人切ろうが縛り首になるのは一遍だけだよ。
Oh, like, come on. This is what you treat your mother. I brought you into this world. The least you can do is slaughter an opposing tribe. Come on. What are sons for? Mommy dearest.
顔つなぎに流れ一つ。マノメイカの支店の下地君の孫だろう。探したの松吉。土手の助司。おい。
He's so calm, cool, and also collected. Cool as a polar bear's toenails.
俺の名前は桑畑その四十郎だがな。
冗談を。
桑畑三十郎でよかろう。ってどこの馬の骨かわからんやつだ。
I'm not exactly wet behind the ears. You know what I'm talking about? But you've seen what kind of caliber of a person I am, and you still planning to off him. The horror. Horror.
何をしてんだよ。どさくさまに逃げようったってそうはいかないよ。入るんだよ。山本手が帰ってるんだからね。入るんだよ。
They are encumbered. I don't like that turn of events, but I do appreciate how he fills the world, the story world, with music and then drops it, background silence at the appropriate moment. Because that's a tightrope. A movie, a lesser director would have this just saturated with sounds, beautiful, like engaging, pleasing sounds, but there's a certain percentage where it becomes too much. And Kurosawa doing a balancing act.
後ろの方でも出てきや。
A small town being the theater of war. Doesn't get much better than this cinematically. The stakes, the tension.
先生続け。
やるんなら勝手にやれ。俺はごめんだ。おかみさんや。おあいにく様だが喧嘩に勝った後で殺されるのは真っ平だ。25両はケースで。
Yeah.
3番だって声だったんだよあいつ。
本間先生どうしたんだ。
You thought you were gonna bamboozle me? Hoodwink me? Hoodwink this. You prick?
おーい、下はどいつだ。俺だ。何の用だ。
腹に成果寝ることがあって生命一家と手を切った。話はそれだけだ。
Oh, this is splendid. I believe. Wait a second. Wait just 1 second. I just had a light bulb moment, an epiphany. Have you ever seen that Clint Eastwood film, not Unforgiven, Fistful of Dollars? If this isn't a carbon copy, I don't know what is. Am I tripping? Because I do watch a lot of movies, so they all blend together. Or have I seen this before? And I don't know it. But this, oh, good googly, moogly. And it's so apropos that he's rising above and witnessing these inferior beings rip each other apart. I like that symbolism and what it entails for the trajectory of the film. But it appears to be that Fistful of Dollars is a lesser film.
おいお前だ八中様のお前だうでやるだなてめえこそ橋回りが引き上げるまで牛木と教授もじゃ入るとこ全員隠れろこっちも同じだ
Inspector Gadget is coming presently. Like that one shot right there is worth $1 million. How our hero is just placed in between these gang leaders. So stimulating. The visual language.
何がおかしい
橋生まれの手下が茶を飲んでやだ。
それがどうしたい
まあ見なよ。お茶けだ。
Oh, Spike Lee? What is it spiked with?
何がそうかねあんなことしてかしてただで済むと思ってんのか
そうだ。いずれ何とか言ってくる。どっちが先かわからねえが、小判を積んで迎えに来ら。まあ、見てな。
And he knows with no small degree of certainty that he's a hot commodity. He's already established his bona fides, right? And his plan is well on its way. Clock that T.
なるほどね。これじゃあ橋生まれのカゴが豪勢なのももっともだ。
There's some chicanery afoot. No doubt about it.
起き上がれカラケツのくせに
He has a particular meme. You know what I mean? Got a face only a mother can love. With all due respect, of course. These are jokes, people. Lighten up. I didn't mean to impugn his standard of beauty. He gets serious all of a sudden.
もんだな俺気に入ったで
おめえ3人も叩き切られて怒らねえのか。
牛と屋の弟の
猪吉、強いんだってな。
それほどでもねえけどよ
I have my moments.
ねえ、お酒ならうちで飲みゃいいのに。それともまだ怒ってるの？
怒ってんのはそっちじゃねえのかい。
意地悪。私が冗談に言ったこと真に受けたりしてさ、嫌な先生。さ、よいしょ。
そんなのあるけ
Don't be mean is wild work. She's like, pish posh. I was just joshing. My tongue was in my cheek.
すぐ俺んとこへ来てくれ
何慌ててるんだ。
橋回りは明日出ていく10里ほど向こうの宿場で町役人が殺された
それにしちゃ落ち着いてるぜ。
人は夜にならなきゃ来ねえ
Playing that information very close to the vest. He has other matters to attend to outside of this petty quarrels.
こういさらえちゃ橋回りも高くつく日当だってバカにはならね
なるほどね。
えところで前金30両
Nah, that's diabolical. He's like, hey, we gotta get this guy out of here. Let's kill a local politician.
ちゃまた始まるのか人殺しが
そうらしいな。
Like that little 3-shot sequence right there with that musical sting. Sublime. Ineffably sublime. The magnetism in that shot. Those shots.
嫌な野郎が舞い戻ってきやがった名前の通り見かけはウサギみたいなやさ男だがウサギの皮かぶった山犬ってやのさ
He's not one to be messed with, I'm gathering. All right, there are a whole bunch of moving parts here. And I am invested thoroughly, like Clint Eastwood was when he saw this.
ああ、面白いもん見せてやるか。
Imbuing him with a sense of power with this low angle shot. Color, the stakes risen. He just upped the ante. Never bring a sword to a gunfight. That's fisticuffs 101. You know what I mean?
にも腹を収まらず、そのことを恐れながらと訴え出て、リストラの野郎道連れ。
Ah, with friends like these, who needs enemies? I inquire. This protagonist casts a large shadow for sure.
まあせいぜい1両。
なんでもね、あったの銀には。
そいつはあんまりだな。しかしいい話を聞いた。牛虎をゆする種にもなるし、清兵衛に売るという手もある。
Got you going and coming. Interesting ink you have there, my brother. I quite, I'm quite enjoying this film and Kurosawa's attention to detail.
この二人を連れて出るとこ行ってりゃ、牛虎の首は片付く。
でも親分、手打ちの話はどうなるんだ。牛虎をご用になるの悪くね。
That would be a godsend, a boon. I don't know. This is remarkably intricate. All right. I bet Tarantino loves this scene for obvious reasons. If you know, you know.
牛虎に会いたい。牛虎に会いたい。
And don't make me say it a third time. That would be horrendous for all parties involved. And the confidence to sit with your back to everybody speaks volumes. You understand me?
用心棒なら当分いらねえ。60両棒に振って気の毒したな。
ハチってやつは口が軽すぎるぞ。それに、あんまり安く使うとかえって高くつくぜ。2枚じゃひどすぎる。
This couldn't be more scintillating if it tried. Every aspect of this film is in concert. So harmonious.
話聞いてた清兵衛のとこのやつが踏んづかまえて連れてった。蔵の中を放り込んで上路しまったぜ。話聞きっぱなしって子はねえぜ。
さあ、好きなだけ取ってくれ。その代わり今から俺の用心棒だで。
用心棒の話は考えとくわ。
Playing everybody like a puppet on a mother string. Surely Fistful of Dollars is not going to have the unabashed, unadulterated gall to copy the exact ending, right? That's a lesser film. I've never been more sure of anything in my life.
こいつの塗装取れ。兄貴のとこ連れてくんだ。てめえ、よいちろは俺たちが預かった。聞こえたか？
No funny stuff, Lebowski. And that way we shall be even Stevens. Shia LaBeouf, Christy Carlson, Romano. What's the stitch? Lilo? Keeps going.
宿場はまたこの鍋の中みたいにグツグツ煮えてきたぜ。
何してきやがったんだ。この騒ぎもおめえの筋書きか。
半分はな。後の半分は小野助の野郎がかっかやった。
And Kurosawa's writing is pristine. There's so many rich layers to this, mouth-wateringly complex. And I wish I hadn't seen Fistful of Dollars or whatever Clint Eastwood's movie was before this, because this is truly, undeniably the superior film. And you can't convince me otherwise, Try to convince me that Fistful of Dollars is better than this in the comments. I defy you. It would be a Herculean task. Okay.
おめえは汚ねえ。これ最後だ。そんなことだと思ったぜ。ウド。これを見な。
It's a low blow, bro. A low blow indeed.
人ら、見たか。この女は俺が扱う。首坂屋のひいおやじが。出た聞いてみな。
Yeah, ask that old brewer who is riddled with concupiscence. Concupiscence? I've heard it both ways.
I've heard it both ways. I've heard it both ways.
面白かったぜ。
You know, that had some entertaining contours, he's saying. Another day, another standoff. And all was right with the world. A nice little change of pace here.
おめえは見たくねえのか。
Oh, this is some incredible pacing, letting the viewer really become one with this world with each shot and how it settles on a picture, settles on an image, and allows it to marinate, luxuriate, if you will, which raises the tension because we know the backdrop, we know what's coming down the pike, but the destination getting there. Oh, I love cinema so much, man. I got goosebumps. I got to lock in. The despair, the devastation through the lens of a child.
泣き寝に眠っちまったぜ。家に手出して牛虎にごっそりやられたのが間違いのもとだが。何女房がおたふくなら借金の方にうちを取られただけで済んでらな。
The price of being pulchritudinous.
牛虎のやつ、あいつのうちを子分に見張りさせてあの子にも合わせねえ。いや、
ああいうやつは好かねえ。そうだ。
Who? Leave me a comment. Who has better cinematographic framing? Stanley Kubrick or Akira Kurosawa? Because the way these are arranged thusly is truly, truly satisfying my third eye. You know what I mean? I am like a kid in a cinematic candy store right now. Thank you to James again on the Patreon. I should have watched this a long time ago. So many gems, so little time. You understand me?
腹決めた。おめえの用心棒になるぜ。
そいつはありがてえ。
前金30両。
He's raking it in. Buku. You hear me?
あの女大丈夫だろうな。また夕べみたいなことになると、こっちの負けだぞ。
大丈夫だ。暴れん坊が6人で固めてる。
6人じゃ危ねえな。こいつぐらい強いやつがついてないと。
He knows which buttons to push, whose ego to stroke, and with what intensity. Oh, the brain is a powerful mechanism.
みんなやられてる。覗いてみたら6人ともやられてるんだ。早く知らせろ。出た。
Yeah. Asked and answered. That's who's here. Your reckoning. Your worst nightmare. Yeah, my girl, you better strike while the iron is hot. Oh.
早く逃げるんだ。30両は牛虎から踏んだくったからだ。遠慮なく使え。
A very vivid display of selflessness, altruism, just what the doctor ordered. He came in like a wrecking ball. Miley Cyrus has had some wild metamorphoses, huh? Oh, overflowing with gratitude rendered them motionless. Make like a tree and leave, like a banana and split, like a baby, head on out of here, and other permutations of that sentiment. Oh, here we go. He calculated down to a T, a precise science. Okay, it'll take X amount of minutes to beat their ass and free this family. By which time they'll be here. Easy peasy, lemon squeezy. Excuse my language, Dana, if you're watching.
おも
いるはずはねえ。せいべいもなかなかやるな。
Don't think I didn't notice the direction of the editing swipe has changed. I got you, Kurosawa.
無茶いけねえ裏を出したかったら生を返せなんだとあなたはなんでそういうな返さなきゃ日はけだぜ救助だようるせえ
None the wiser. He's maneuvering, he's finessing with the best of them. Nah, Clint Eastwood is a bold man for directly ripping this off, bro. It's insane to even contemplate. Did he give credit? I'm gonna look it up after I post this. But did he like at least say like, hey, this was inspired by Kurosawa's Yojimbo?
どうした不景気なんさらしておめえの稼ぎ時じゃねえか
ダメだ喧嘩もこう派手になると棺桶なんか使っちゃう
That's morbid. Rather macabre.
もう一本つけてくれ。
はいよ
嫌に愛想がいいじゃねえか。どうしたんで
Yeah. I was just about to observe. It's rather affable today.
おめえ俺が牛虎の用心棒になったの怒ってねえのか。
おめえいいとこあるぜまったく
なんで
おめえはな本当の悪じゃ悪に見せるのが好きなだけらしいなあいつが来たんだおめえがヘドが出るほど好かねえつ
Yeah, this guy is singing a different tune, to be sure. He's engaging in dissimulation, which is a necessity in this kind of circumstance.
これをよおめえに渡してくれってさ読まねえのかそりゃ中身は知れてら俺の言葉がくどくど並んでるだけけど読んでやりなよ危ねえ思いをして持ってきたんだ
うせえ俺は今酒で忙しいんだ助っ人集めに行ってた犬が今帰ってきてな集まったか
集まらね
無理もねえやこの前集めた奴らがおめえたちの仕打ちをでもな
You don't have a sterling reputation.
ガキをぶった人とげ声してんの見たやつがいる
それもあの6人切られた翌朝残ったぜすると清兵衛があのアンマをさららしいなじゃああの6人殺したな
Evidently.
おめえあの兄貴んとこ知らせに飛んでくるめあの6人がやられてんの確かにその目で見たのか
いやこいつがそう言ったから俺
Oh, that delectable, succulent cut right there. Oh, Kurosawa is the man. I gotta see more of his films. Outside of just reading about him in film theory books, I need to get it straight from the horse's mouth.
とてもうまく料理されてたなあんないい腕を持ったやつはこの近くにはおめえしかいねえそれで
You're forgive me if I'm missing the point.
あの6人叩き殺したのはおめえじゃねえかと思ってね
そんな俺たちの用心棒だぜそれがどうしてそんな
まあそこんとこがよくわからねえんだななんだこりゃ侍様だ公平のいい
参る。
Exhibit A, we've been implicated, ladies and gents. Shenanigans. He's about to shenan again. My brother got cold cocked. He's certainly seen better days.
おめえまだぶん殴られてえのか。どこ行くんだ。そっちは地獄の二丁目だぜ。
相手殺しちゃダメだぜ。
心配すんな。うなってな。
He's hanging by a thread. Phantom thread. That one say Daniel Day-Lewis when he's interrogating her at dinner. That's one of the best scenes in cinema. You know what I'm talking about?
And who are you? Do you have a gun? You here to kill me? Do you have a gun?
Stop it!
確かにあの女の居所を当てにはならねえぜ。そう言ってりゃ殺されねえで済むから。
Yeah, you beat him to a pulp. He needs stitches, but he won't snitch, regardless of whether snitches get stitches. Syllogism.
嫌だ。何？殺しちゃ困るぞ。あ、任しといてください。盛んネギ。帰ってやれ。
Oh no. School is in session. Pain tolerance 101.
言わないか。
Oh. I thought he was about to go Oberyn Martell in the Mountain. Game of Thrones, anybody? And therein lies a plan, ladies and gentlemen.
野郎のおかげでこれがかかるお泊まりだ。
体虫が収まらね
あれこれと確かに閉めたはずだがな。
え。やらねえぜ。
どかせね
Yeah. Your days are numbered, pricks.
兄貴、冗談じゃねえんだよ、こりゃ。
Could have sworn you locked the door, you say. Deus ex machina, indeed. He's nothing if not ingenious. Does he have the use of his legs or nah?
兄貴野郎。金とか探し回ったって仕方ねえ。片っ端から探すんだ。
Excellent construction of tension here and suspense. It's palpable. Golly, that henchman really did a number on him. 2 numbers, I might even be so bold as to suggest.
だから言わねえこっちゃね。あんまり無茶ばかりしやがるから。
説教も後回しだ。すぐ探しに行く。来やがったらセレンとこ行ったって言うんだ。いいな。
Not the most stealthy of hiding places, but it'll do, I suppose. It'll do.
おい、三品が来ろ。ダメにならねえぞ。来たよ。
Why do I find the vernacular 2-bit samurai so appealing and funny?
三品は同じ穴の無事なだ。でもよ、我が物にとっての整備を大喜びで囲もうで。よし、これなら整備の奴ら皆殺しだ。みんな、我を集めろ。整備のうちを取り囲んで煙詰めだ。
I mean, okay. The only flaw in this scene is that logic would dictate that they would ransack the place, leave no stone, Emma Stone, unturned. But the movie requires that they do not, which I appreciate. This movie has my, grace as if it needs it. If the movie's good enough, I can suspend my disbelief. And this one qualifies as such.
でもおめえ、これからどうする？棺桶買ってこい。なんだ、気の弱いこと言っちゃいけねえよ。バカ。俺はまだ死ねねえ。死ぬ
前に叩き切らなきゃならねえやつがだいぶいる。
Yeah, we got to crawl before we walk. I am just bowled over and stupefied that Clint Eastwood, he had to have mentioned him. I don't know the lore behind this cinematic connection, the connective tissue, but I know that this predated Fistful of Dollars, or you forgive me if it's not the right movie name. But he just said he loved this movie so much that he remade it. I know Kurosawa got a percentage.
連中に調べられたらおめえ。
あいつはそれどころじゃねえ。
何やってるんだ。
セーベのところを煙手間にしてるんだ。
面白そうだな。早く下ろせ。少し見物する。
そんなおめえ。
いいから下ろせ。
Yeah, let me get my popcorn and take in this show.
ここじゃよく見えねえ。もっと向こうへやれ。
Let me take in the festivities. S'il vous plaît. Got a front row seat to the chaos of my creation. Annihilation. Natalie Portman, one by one, they're being annihilated, each being manipulated so terrifically, so effectively. Come on now, don't debrief me later, mofo.
結果は俺の負けだ。前からヨイチロも俺も殺されて。よし、わかった。
At the end of your tether, you are.
牛だ。おめえ、おめえに。
Oh. Even after he capitulated, he surrendered. Say, words for the birds.
あとは3品だ。ほら、誰が見たっていいね。でも聞いちまうわけやね。だけ痛めつけたんだ。そう遠く行くはずはね。
And he's there hiding in plain sight. I like that intricate scenario here. This plan is going over like gangbusters. You get me?
おけが逃げた。
誰かいねえか。
それどころじゃねえや。日野吉がこっちへ来るぜ。
Just look how he's walking. Imbecile. He's already characterized as a nincompoop, a numbskull.
すまねえがおめえ手伝ってくんねえか。手が怖えのか。なんだと？そんなに威張ったって怖いって面に書いてあるぜ。何？俺は怖いもんなんか一つもねえや。
Oh, if gullibility was a person. He's being played like a PlayStation 5.
だがおめえ大丈夫か。人玉？俺は人玉見ると胸がスッつんだ。そうか。よいしょ。
This is great narrative symmetry. A nice balance to the script, setups and payoffs. And it's a testament to the writing, the original source of how much pleasure I'm deriving from this movie, even though I've seen a ripoff of it. You know what I mean? Once you've tasted sugar, once you've tasted the sugar, stevia doesn't hit the same. You know what I mean?
かわいそうだ。仏めの手伝って。それには及ばねえよ。定長おめえ誰か探したんじゃ。兄貴にぶん投げるな。
Oh, that's such a quirky, perfect, eccentric character upon which all of our scheming is built.
おめえ生きてるようには見えねえぜ。
That shot right there was just as precise as this movie making. The exactness, the evocative images. pinpoint emotional accuracy.
親父遅かったな。腹減ったぜ。
俺だ。ゴンジーは大変だ。ゴンジーがどうした？お前んとこで雇用として捕まったんだ。
それでゴンジーはどこに連れて行かれた？
生命のうちを。そんなもんでやる気か？これよかったら使ってくれ。棺桶屋にはこういう喜もある。死んだやつの語るで悪いが、一番切れそうなやつを選んできたんだね。
Superstitious, are we? All right, I guess I haven't seen Fistful of Dollars in a while. I don't remember this part of the plot. Is this where Eastwood departed? Determined, grit, excruciating stare. Such a heavenly movement of the camera. It's heavenly. It's paradise. Cinematic paradise, this is. That's quite the pickle. Pickle Rick. I marvel at that juxtaposition of a sword and a gun at once. Somehow both modern and anachronistic. Appropriately, spectacularly slow pace for this final beat here.
あんまりこっちに来るんじゃねえ。
That was the password. Don't come any closer. All right, I'll speed up then. And then he already set the foundation for his. Oh my God, this is wonderful.
子供は刃物を撃つんじゃねえ。おふろんとこはけえ。ずっと長きした方がよくはねえか。
Oh, I see what you did, Tarantino and Kill Bill. That was an allusion to this during that crazy 88 scene. The zenith of that film, by the way.
This is what you get. Go home to your mother.
俺も頼みがある。俺はこれを持ってねえと裸みてえだ。メイドまでは旅はついねえ。
Trying to get to the gates of Valhalla with his ammunition.
俺に持たしてくれ。
Oh, I'm transfixed right now. I forgot I was making a reaction for a split second. Is he gonna oblige?
大丈夫だよ。たとった。もう弾入ってねえ。すまねえ。
Or I was going to say, did he do like Malcolm X and palm the bullet? Y'all seen Malcolm X? Denzel's best work. Argue with a wall. Remember the Titans too, but
ダメだ。暗くなってきやった。
that drum is marching to the beat of this spell-binding film. Look, I guess this is a bit of a fresh experience because I forgot the end. I just remember him, Clint Eastwood, being carted off in that casket at the end.
What?
Oh.
You say?
Is Yojimbo Japanese for too big? Because if that would have been the name of this movie, it couldn't have been more appropriate or fitting. Yeah, okay, good luck. Send me a postcard.
崩さずに死んでいきやがった。ハスケ。
何かご用で。
おめえは首でもくくりな。
Oh, is that a euphemism? Or are we to interpret that literally? I'll take my answer off the air.
これでこの宿場も静かになるぜ。親父。あばよ。
He's as deft as he is chivalrous. Oh, now that is magnificent for many reasons, right? Because I, as I mentioned throughout this incredible film, I have seen Fistful of Dollars, and without doing research, I know that Clint Eastwood ripped it off here. And it's a testament to the movie making that I still quite enjoyed this film as if I've seen it the first time, as if this was my novel experience. I enjoyed this film thoroughly because there's a certain je ne sais quoi. There's a certain quality to this movie that only Kurosawa could have brought to it, and you can feel that permeating through the screen in no small portions, in no small amounts. I am rendered speechless at how, because when it occurred to me that Clint Eastwood, you know, emulated this, I'll be generous and say emulated because I'm going to have to do some deep digging, some research to see if he, gave him credit when he made it, when he brought it here to the United States, whether he was a part of the filmmaking process. He picked Kurosawa's ear. I'll know this by the time I upload it, but it'll be an interesting path of inquiry there. Yeah, this has a lot of symbolism, metaphor, allegory, parables coursing through it, and I am struck by the proficiency of Kurosawa because, as I said, each frame, each picture was thought out. You can tell that it was probably storyboarded. It takes so much assiduous care to construct the mise en scène, the arrangement of the elements in just one frame, let alone when it pans or booms. And Kurosawa seems to be really relishing the opportunity to make film. And you can feel that through the screen. And I love when you can tell that a filmmaker loves film with a capital F and realizes the importance of it in our everyday lives, understanding the human experience, unpacking emotional and psychological aspects of what it constitutes to be on this, axis, the earth rotating on its axis around the sun, and the manifold, the infinite ways you can depict that and capture it on the silver screen via storytelling and moving images. Yeah, movies like this, yeah, it doesn't get much better. I would be interested, please give me your point of view in the comment section. Who is better with, just on the visual? I'm just set aside, bracket the storytelling aspect, the narrative. Just on a visual level, who's better at moving the camera in relation to the dialogue and the actors? Stanley Kubrick or Akira Kurosawa? Now, obviously, I've seen every single Stanley Kubrick film. I mean, if I had to pick a favorite, I'm not even going to try to do that right now, but The Shining is up there, Paths of Glory. But who's better at moving the camera, Kurosawa or Kubrick? Now, I know it's not necessarily remarkably beneficial to compare the two. Maybe a situation of being incommensurate, but it's worth considering to me for my money. It's worth considering. Yeah, avarice. We start off with our hero pacing with this soundtrack, this operatic, majestic, profound soundtrack accompanying as we are following him during the opening credits, and that sets the foundation for what is to come. That he's a formidable force with which to be reckoned, and we are just rendered helpless to just watch him as he maneuvers to this town and sees the lay of the land and understands that these people, town people, are being held against their will in a sense and being terrorized by these conflicting gangs, as is evidenced by when we see the townspeople, they're in prison, as it were, through the bars. They're being trapped. And what with the the advent of money, finances is breaking up the tradition, the culture, and people are becoming greedy and money hungry, doing anything, becoming reducing themselves to mercenaries, battle, life or death, in order to accrue wealth, like the guy at the beginning. He's like, I'm tired of, what did he say? Eating gruel. I want a better life for myself, and I'm willing to get rich or die trying. You know, then you got a casket maker. Casket maker. The symbolism there, if you're interested in gleaning some symbolism from it, uh, reading the film, the opportunists, carpetbaggers, if you want to use an American word, um, people who just come to a situation and benefit from it personally, regardless of who suffers. Don't pick sides. Just say, hey, I can make a pretty penny. So let me go ahead and, get in the casket business. That's phenomenal writing. So one cannot, you know what I mean? You can't blame Clint Eastwood for not being able to resist the temptation. But it's like here on YouTube being copyrighted, fair use. Maybe he took it that way. That's what YouTube thinks I do when I chop up these 5-second clips of movies. And I only use like what 20 minutes most of a 2-hour movie. And even then, they would it's as if they're suggesting that I'm doing what Clint Eastwood did to Yojimbo. No, bro. Fair use. I'm commenting on it, seeing it through my lens, unpacking, vivisecting, dissecting the contents through my lens. And yeah, this is the politics, the corruption that this is speaking to. Kurosawa, man, this is, yeah, I can see why his name gets mentioned frequently. And I would have to go back and fact check, but almost every film theory book I've read, or cinematography, or editing, color theory book, it mentions his name for good reasons. Because this is my second Kurosawa film, and each, in its own right, each in its own right, proves why this is the case. You know, each frame is calculated. It's like a painting. The color scheme, the pacing, the movement, the zoom in, the punch ins, the cut, like when our hero was being interrogated by the other side, the guy with the gun, which that it deserves a whole discourse by itself, the guy with the gun and the sword. But when he was being interrogated, it was like, okay, so this family, the mom, the dad, the son, was seen riding off into the sunset, which means the other tribe couldn't have killed him, so who did? Was it you? And then at that particular precise perfect moment, we cut close to our hero's sword, right next, which is a budding adjacent to the note, the thank you note. Now that's just, it's brilliant ideation and visualizing and manifesting a vision, man. I truly get a kick out of that. It puts wind beneath my cognitive sails, just seeing that executed thusly. Had a little classism too sprinkled through. He was touching on many topics because on the surface of this film, you could just say, oh, a good guy breaking up bad guys to free a town. Yes, while that's true, but there's some deeper, profound, insightful metaphors here at play. And the classism, like when the master came in, it was like, okay, you paying him 50, okay, for lack of a remembering what it's called, $50, and I only get two, and he's from a different class. Just that right there, you know, classism, speaking on certain hierarchies and caste. Like I'm reading this book by Isabella Wilkerson, and she's touching upon the caste systems that pertains today in India, Jim Crow America, Nazi Germany. And yeah, that's a whole argument in itself. And the way he just injects that and then keeps it pushing. That's a confident filmmaker right there. It's a confident filmmaker. And the soundtrack, ladies and gentlemen, brothers and sisters, this soundtrack, as is often the case, the following. It tells a story of its own, but particularly in this movie, there's a certain, flow to it that undulates and just sets in your ears and stops and starts at the appropriate moment. Just even thinking about it. And what pops up in my head when I said that was when the guy was on the steps and our hero was sitting with his back to him. And every time he would touch his foot on the step, it would like increase a musical sting real quick and go away as quick as it appeared. It's such attention to detail and care that Kurosawa was putting in this film. Is he still with us? One can only hope he's still with us making movies, man. Because people like him, they deserve to be able to budget and have creative license with any film. And I would say the same for people like Scorsese, Spike Lee, Coogler. Now, here's where it gets tricky. Here's the scuttlebutt that Megalopolis shouldn't have gotten made. Coppola. Am I contradicting myself? Because I think Coppola is a great filmmaker and filmmaker. He is of a certain strain that deserves the latitude, but I just didn't like Megalopolis, and I saw it twice. Saw it twice because I'm like, okay, Heart of Darkness, Apocalypse Now, The Godfather. Surely, I must have been tired or something. But I digress. I digress. Um, Town, conflicting gangs, fighting for power. They're each fighting for power, having internecine drama, infighting, and who's gonna get this territory, who's gonna be king of the hill. Oh, Bobby, that's asinine. Okay, every time I use that phrase, I can't help but try to try on for size a king of the hill, Hank Hill impression. Which by the time this uploads to YouTube, this is gonna be posted on Patreon in August, but by the time this hits YouTube, it'll be like September, I think. So hopefully, as you're watching this, if you're a fellow King of the Hill enjoyer and fan, this reboot will be worth its salt. Because, reboots seems to be cash grabs in the year 2025, but I'm hanging my hat on hope, to be sure. To be sure. The evolution of weaponry. Okay, to circle back a little bit. The one guy who is a worthy adversary, he's introduced with a low angle, and he pops up with the gun. Now, that really, really enhances the entire protocol, the story world. Yes, he has the swords on his hilt, on his belt, but when he produces that gun, it hit different. It changed the paradigm of the entire shebang, and I please that. I'm so pleased by that turn of events because he ostensibly is the head honcho. How can you overpower a gun with a sword, bringing a knife to a gunfight? But at the end, that brilliant, splendid, magnificent turn of events when our hero is recuperating in the hut, waiting for the boy to bring him rice and ointment. Got caught on the way, sure, sure, sure. But before that, there was an eddy, a whirlwind. Wind was blowing around a piece of paper, and he was precisely throwing that dagger. Then, cut to a few minutes later, he used that same tactic, that stratagem, to undo his opponent with the gun. And the juxtaposition of the knife and the gun created, a synthesis of enjoyment for me. Synthesis of enjoyment. Yeah. Thank you. Much obliged. I appreciate you. My eternal gratitude for James R on the Patreon for choosing this film. Movies like this is why I get out of bed. My patrons over here are crushing it right now. Crushing it. Like yesterday, I watched, what was it, Nosferatu? And I had a similar grand experience. So much grandeur in these story worlds. As a guy who lives and breathes cinema, it's right. It's just what the doctor ordered. So thank you to all my patrons. Earnestly, genuinely, cannot do this without you. Uh, if you're watching this on Patreon, thank you again. It bears repeating. But if you're watching this on YouTube and you're interested in selecting films like James did for this one, come over to the Patreon. We have different tiers, which gives you that option, availability. You can also get early access and full length versions because, to my earlier point of copyright, you can't upload the whole thing on YouTube, regardless of fair use, even if I'm using it within its purview appropriately. You still encounter certain hurdles, obstacles, which render me not able to upload as much of the movie and commentary as I would prefer it. So, early access, full length movie selections on Patreon, Mr. Valentine Reacts. I, yeah, once again, I clocked it about 30% of the way through that, oh, snap, crackle, and pop. Clint Eastwood and then stole, I want to say stole, but maybe he, like I said, I'll do research. Maybe he asked permission or gave him a shout out or got him in the credits or something. Because I know they came out in like the 70s or 80s, Fistful of Dollars, maybe the 70s or late 60s. We'll see. But it's such a good film, this Yojimbo, that, I found myself still engaged as if I had just walked into a matinee and seeing this for the first time. Testament to the strong storytelling, the powerful acting, the formidable adversary and protagonist, the story world, the camera movement, the soundtrack, all of that amalgamates, all of that combines for a great cinematic viewing. In my humble experience, I don't know the consensus though. I don't know what Rotten Tomatoes or the critics or pop culture has to say about this film, but I know what they say about Kurosawa, so that lends credence to the statement that people love this movie. At least I do. I count myself upon in that contingent. But okay, I can go on about this film, but you know, I think I've hit the bullet points, and in trying to analyze films in real time, although I'm getting better at it. It's still a it's still a task, especially when it's so rich and symbolic and metaphorical. You know, trying to do that extemporaneously, unplanned. Yeah, I can be a little all over the place. So I will put the kibosh, I'll put the barrier, the boundary up right there. Thank you for watching this with me as I took my journey through Yojimbo for the first time, Kurosawa. Appreciate your support. Like this video. If you're watching on YouTube, give me some comments. Subscribe if I don't have the pleasure of your subscription. But this was 1961's Yojimbo, and as always, until we meet again.